definitely.
The other game I've been playing, this is the game I've been playing on the train. It's oh no, that's Tetris again.
Tetris,
No,
surprise!
oh I've been playing this indie game called Into the
Into the
Breach.
Breach.
I don't know if have you
Yes.
guys played this one at all?
No, but I've seen it. I've been watching reviews on it too.
Oh man, it's so like the appeal to me was like it looks like Advance Wars, and I miss Advance Wars.
Yes.
Let's play more Advance Wars, and this is different, but I think it ends up being way better than I don't know if this is blasphemous. I think it's way better than Advance Wars ever was. Um,
Wow.
I think they modernized it in some really cool ways. So for one, there's only 3 units at a time. Like the whole context of the game is like you're playing across multiple timelines, and you can beat a timeline in like an hour or 2 hours. You're managing only 3 units, and each level is like 5 turns max. And so what you're trying to, you're just trying to beat each level within those 5 turns. But like there's more stakes on the line, because besides like trying to protect your guys, who there's permadeath in the game, so your pilot's gone, like they're just gone. You will still have the unit, but then it's just like a robot driving it, and they don't have like the same power-ups because characters in this level up and get new abilities as they go. Other ways you can die besides everyone dying in a level is you have to protect the buildings. So if the buildings get knocked too many times, it's game over. And so like you're gonna constantly run into situations of like, I'm either gonna get hit or this building's gonna get hit. Like, what do I do? And then on top of that, like there are power-ups that drop in certain levels, and it's like, oh, now I have to like protect these buildings, plus protect myself, plus try and get that one power-up that spawned in the beginning of the level, plus some other objective on top. Like sometimes there's a level that has like a train going across, and you have to protect that as well. And so within that like 5 to 10 minute skirmish, there's so much to like weigh out. And
sounds cool.
Yeah, from there, like
it looks like fun.
When you die, like inevitably you're going to die. It ends up becoming like a roguelike where you can then send one of your pilots back to the beginning of the game, and then like run it again, except you have like you can pick different units. So there's like different types of mechs, different types of teams, and you can unlock different teams, and then you can customize so you can make your own teams, and the levels are all randomized, so you could play this game forever if you wanted to.
Now, can you name your characters like an XCOM kind of thing?
I think you can actually. I've left it default, but I think you can name them.
You should have the Boss Rush crew in there, Jet.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh, there's only 3.
That's okay. I'll run it with you 3, and hopefully keep all of you alive.
Yeah, he'll be our CEO. He's gonna kill us all immediately.
Yep.
Also, point of order: I don't dislike indie games. I'm a little
No, you made it very clear how you feel about indie games.
Yeah,
Jason.
Very clear.
Okay, sure. Is this one a Switch exclusive, or is it on everything?
It's on PC as well. I don't know if it's on PS4 or Xbox. Oh, the guys are gone again. Hold on. Let me bring everybody back.
Hello.
Hey,
Hello.
and you guys all spawned in the same order. Great.
Another browser crash.
Yeah. I'll have to figure something out.
Yeah,
so so for those watching, we're using Discord for the first time because for some reason virtual cam on OBS didn't work. And now we are running into some weird quirks with the browser crashing and other stuff like that, but also the sound is a lot better. So yeah.
Yeah, that's true. And you got it back up and running really quick. So
yeah, I just hit refresh. And so yeah, Into the Breach is a fantastic game. I have no real criticisms of it. If you have any interest in playing something like an Advance Wars, like absolutely pick this up. And even if you don't, and you've just heard good things about like turn-based strategy games, this is a good one to start with.
It looks pretty cool. I might give it a try.
Yeah, and it's pretty cheap too. I think in Canada it's under $20. So,
you know.
Oh, I see him, John going. All right, that's gonna be it for at least the games we've been playing. But next up, not a game show, not just yet. Oh man, we are running long. So we'll see how you guys are feeling after we do this next segment. But for now, let's talk. Oh, not talking about Mega Man. We're talking about the
I can talk about
2018.
Mega Man.
Jason, have you finished Mega Man 11 by chance?
I have not played Mega Man 11.
Oh,
so
okay.
no.
Oh, sorry to.
But I would love to.
Oh,
That's okay.
Okay. What were we talking about? Game of the year. That was it. So, of course, Jeff Keighley hosts this show called the Game Awards, which has kind of become the gaming equivalent of the Oscars. And
Mhm.
they announced the nominees on, I think it was Monday.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so it perfectly timed out that, hey, we can actually talk about something relevant on the show, because usually it doesn't really time out for us. So I thought it'd be great if we go through some of the game categories here and just discuss the picks and what we think is going to win. So right off the
Cool.
top, we've got Game of the Year. Nominated right now is Assassin's Creed Odyssey, Celeste, God of War, Marvel's Spider-Man, Monster Hunter World, and Red Dead Redemption 2. Discuss.
Apparently, Celeste is fantastic.
Yeah, Jet liked it.
I am so madly in love with Celeste.
Hey, watch it! Don't say that too loud.
Yeah, oh yeah. I am in love with the video game Celeste.
Yeah.
Yeah, please don't crop that into it. Yeah, don't clip that and put it at the thing. I'm
Heard
gonna
the
get
knives
in trouble.
rattling in the kitchen.
Oh, yeah, that game. When we do our Game of the Year show, either at the end of December, at the beginning of January, that may be in the conversation. But yes, Celeste is great.
Well, on that list of go on.
No, please go ahead.
On that list of games, I have only played one of them, so I can only speak about Monster Hunter World, and I can just assume from my own experience that game will not win Game of the Year, but I think it was good. Also, seeing the list makes me realize I don't actually know what came out on a Nintendo console that would actually be a good Game of the Year, so it's kind of fitting that it's not there. I guess it would probably be Smash, just hasn't come out yet.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that list of games looks absolutely amazing. Just wish, had the money and time to play all of them.
I know it's say for Monster Hunter, it's very single player heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. All of them, really.
Yeah.
From playing Red Dead 2, obviously we've talked about it, but I think, as weird as this sounds, I think my favorite might have been Spider-Man if I had have played it. Because
Okay.
all the things I've read about it are fantastic, and it's right up my alley. And I think that would be my number one game. It looks right up like what I would be wanting to play right now.
Huh. That is an interesting way of picking Game of the Year of like the game that had I played it.
Yeah.
That's my had I played it pick.
I mean, like, going off the same idea.
That might
like,
be the
having
first
played-
time.
Yeah, having really played none of those, like, of all the games that are on that list that I really would want to play, if I had to pick one, I would probably also pick Spider-Man. But I mean, I love Spider-Man, but like that looks like the game I'd want.
So I'll chime in. I have not played Celeste, and I feel like that's a miss on my part from everything Jet has said about it. But I have played a bit of Assassin's Creed Odyssey. I beat God of War. I beat Spider-Man and all the DLC, and I'm like probably 35 hours into Red Dead. And I will say,
So 3
hands
missions.
down,
The most definitive voice here.
Spider-Man is
Yeah.
Spider-Man's my game of the year.
Wow.
Really nice.
Oh man, you just blowing
Yeah.
it for our show Game of the Year special. We were supposed to reveal our personal game.
I know.
Maybe your mind
know.
will change.
Yeah.
It's true. I haven't beat Red Dead yet, so who knows? It could blow me out of the water in the last few chapters. But with Spider-Man, I found that I loved that game. I loved going back in, and I loved playing as Peter Parker. Like I loved playing as Spider-Man. I loved swinging around, and I liked the fighting mechanics. And I enjoyed pretty much every part of that game. And then as soon as the DLC came out, I had that, and I played that like. The first day it came out, I played it all the way through. And then I realized, holy cow, I haven't played this game in probably, I don't know, a month, and I missed it. Like, I actually missed playing that game. Then the DLC came out, and I was like, oh, this is great. I'm back in, brand new story, like new content. And there's still 2 more DLCs to come out in that package. So just in terms of the game that I feel like I had the most fun with, I feel like that I got the most out of, I would say, yeah, Spider-Man's my game of the year.
Okay. I enjoy Spider-Man. I've been trying to beat it for the last 2 months. Just all sorts of life stuff and Tetris stuff has gotten in the way, but I'm almost done. I've been reading a IGN walkthrough just to see like the titles and see how far down the list I am. I'm about 80% of the way through, and
Nice.
that game is I echo all of Matt's sentiments on there. But the one game we haven't really talked about that I know at least multiples of us have played that no one's mentioned yet, God of War is fantastic. That game
So good.
is such a huge blockbuster of a game in terms of its graphics, its presentation, but then it also has an incredible story that really caught me off guard. I just the whole daddy issues side of it, and it's so well done, and it made Kratos a very real and sympathetic character in a way that I didn't think was possible leading up to this point. And
It should be game of the year just for that. For making Kratos a human being with feelings.
yeah,
Other
quite
than Rage.
possibly. If I were to try and put my judge's cap on like of these games that are here, I think God of War wins it.
Yeah.
Like Red Dead, the reviews I think scored higher than God of War, but I feel like people are talking more mess about Red Dead than they did about God of War post-launch.
Yeah, I can see
I
that.
don't remember hearing anything negative about God of War.
Yeah.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah. Spider-Man, I think that is a great game, and I totally respect people who do pick that as their game of the year. I can kind of see why it wouldn't necessarily why other people would pick other games over top of that one. But no shame in Spider-Man. Red Dead, I think of these, the only one I would maybe be mad at winning is Red Dead, but only because I've heard the things I've heard criticized about it are things that just would really grind my gears as well.
Yeah.
But I mean,
my
that's
only
kinda...
comparison. Go ahead, Jet. Go ahead, man.
No, I think it kind of makes the list a good list when there's so many games you're like, oh, this could win, but this could win. So I think that's nice. So kudos to them. And I mean, we haven't really talked about Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
Yeah, are we sleeping on
I
that
haven't
one?
played an Assassin's Creed since I think Brotherhood. But I mean, when Odyssey came out, that's the first game that really came out in that series where I'm like, wow, I really want to play that game.
Mm-hmm.
And so kudos to them for coming full circle and finally making it a game that is probably what the fans actually wanted. So that's really cool. Great list, great year to sum up.
All right, let's move on. The best ongoing game. We've got as nominated Destiny 2, Fortnite, No Man's Sky, Overwatch, and Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege. So Jason, I know you are a big Overwatch fan. Do you think Overwatch has any chance of winning this award?
Not a chance. I think that if you had to pick a year Overwatch did the best, it would not be 2018. I think this is probably the worst year for Overwatch. But mainly it's because I think a lot of focus from the developers was on Overwatch League, which was fun and cool. And it didn't take away from the game. It's just that the game stayed kind of stagnant, which isn't bad. It's good to stay stagnant when you're amazing. But I mean, when you look at the things that the other ones did, I actually don't know that much about Rainbow Six Siege, but all the other ones really excelled and made their games great. I think a really good example is Fortnite. I mean, that game is huge. It's freaking everywhere. So it's for sure a great ongoing game. But I mean, I think if I was going to pick a game that really, I don't know, exemplified what it's like to buy a game as a service and get something really great for it, I would have to say No Man's Sky wins, because that game just absolutely changed what it was, and it's so much better than when it started. And I think that's what you want from a game that you're going to buy and play for years and years to come. It's not just DLC packs like Spider-Man, then it's over. It's a game that evolves with the people that play it and becomes something that's greater than just its base. So I think that's why No Man's Sky is a good example of a really good ongoing.
Okay.
Absolutely. I agree with that. I think, in terms of evolution, if you look at what No Man's Sky started as and the backlash it got, and the fact that it is, like you said, almost entirely changed its complete whole direction, You have, you can build now. You can do multiplayer. You can explore together. You can, there's a story mode. All the stuff that they'd promised initially. If you look at it from that perspective, I absolutely think you're right. I think No Man's Sky should win it.
Wow.
I don't know if it's gonna win it. I just think that it's a good choice.
Well, yeah, sorry, exactly. I don't.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's Fortnite's
Yeah,
pretty
I was
much.
gonna say.
Yeah,
I think
got
think
it
it's
in the
Fortnite
bag.
shoe-in. Yeah, I think so.
But I think if you look at it from that perspective, I don't think any game has evolved as much as No Man's Sky.
Yeah, for sure.
the story I've heard on Rainbow Six is that game launched really poorly, and Ubisoft worked really hard to fix it, and now it's incredible.
Yeah,
Fair enough.
I've never played it.
Neither have I.
never played it.
Yeah. Destiny 2, I downloaded it. I never did get around to playing it.
I
PlayStation
did.
Plus.
It's fun. Yeah.
It's fun. I've
Yeah.
never had a bad time playing Destiny or it's fun. I don't know what else to
Yeah.
say.
Okay.
It doesn't suck me in where I want to play it all the time, but when I get on there and
Yeah,
play it,
okay.
I have a blast.
All right. Best game direction. I wish they had a blurb here to explain what they mean by game direction. But the games that are here are A Way Out, Detroit Become Human, God of War, Marvel Spider-Man, and Red Dead Redemption 2.
Maybe they're trying to go for like not like best story, but like best way of the game story and I don't know, character come out at the end. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, like what game resembles a movie the most almost?
Yeah, I don't know.
I think
Which one is A Way
Well,
Out?
that's
what is
the prison game where you play it.
Is that what
the
it was?
entire
Yeah.
thing,
The
two-player
co-op one?
co-op. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
That game
That
sold
looks
really
Sylvester
well,
Stallone
and I've heard great
uh,
things about it.
Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I mean, if you look at the list purely based on length of the game and the amount of sort of spider webbing stories, no,
God of
sorry.
War.
Actually, that's funny that I said that because I was not alluding to Spider-Man at all. I was alluding to Red Dead.
Oh, sure.
But just keeping track of everything, I don't know if they're talking specifically about directing the game. I mean, I think Red Dead's got to take it. It's so big and so complex. I think God of War had a fantastic story, and I think it flowed really well.
Mhm.
But in terms of just keeping everything straight, if that's what direction indeed means, I think Red Dead's got to take it.
Okay.
Gotcha.
I would then say God of War should take best game direction because that game had one camera for the whole game and no cuts.
That's a good point. Oh man, I totally forgot that it was one camera.
The entire game.
Wow, yeah.
Really? You mean there's like no cuts the entire time? I didn't
No,
know.
there's no camera cuts. It's
No
just one
cuts.
camera following you
Really?
the entire game.
It's crazy. It's the first time I've ever heard of that. The game came out in like April.
Yeah.
Wow, nice. What's next?
Next, best narrative. Detroit Become
Ooh.
Human, God of War, Life is Strange 2 Episode 1, Marvel Spider-Man, and Red Dead. I have not played Life is Strange 2 Episode 1, but I question its validity in this list only in that that's a fifth or a quarter of a game. How is that in there with these
Mhm.
other ones?
Yeah, really.
Yeah,
Mhm.
true. I mean, like, I feel like just from knowing what those games are, the winner should probably be Detroit Become Human, because isn't that what the entire game is? It's just basically a story. So, like,
Mhm.
I mean, having not played it, like, I don't really know how good it's going to be, but, like, I'm intrigued.
Yeah.
But then again, you guys are both saying how great God of War is, and because of the story, so, I don't know.
Yeah.
But I don't know how much. I don't know how much of. I mean, obviously, a lot of the fact that people think the story is great for God of War is because of that history. I'm assuming a lot of the people have played the other games, and there's that. You're already sort of hooked on these characters and on his characters. So falling into the new game with a half decent story might make it great, whereas Detroit may have a great story right off the bat, and there's no backstory whatsoever. There's no other games you've played. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's weird.
That's true. It does kind of make you make up your own kind of thoughts about it before you even
I've
jump in.
not played Detroit, so I cannot say.
I've heard nothing but good things about Detroit.
Okay.
So
Yeah. I
Um,
don't know.
I will say I do really enjoy the narrative of Spider-Man. I think the thing that like when I've been playing it and trying to write a review to it is like I constantly compare it to Batman in my head. And one of the things I really like is that it's not like Batman in multiple games now has been like everything happens in one night, go go go, everything's bad.
Yeah.
Marvel Spider-Man has like a much more natural flow. It takes place over the course of like at least a few days, and it gives you time to breathe all the time, like in a way that makes sense for the Spider-Man universe, where you're not always Spider-Man just webbing people up all the time. You're Peter Parker. You're helping out at the homeless shelter. There's other things that are happening besides just being.
You literally
Spider-Man.
stop at one point and eat a pizza on a roof.
Yeah.
Sounds
doesn't?
great. Yeah. I'm gonna do that right after this. So I don't know what you're talking
Well, see you guys.
about. Yeah, bye.
Yeah.
So yeah, anyone want to? Yeah, like I guess we should have gone up and like made our picks of what we think, or maybe we do that at the end, and then someone can write these down, and then at our Game of the Year episode, we'll see what wins and what doesn't, and
Well,
who got the most points. All right, we'll do that at the end.
Yes.
Best art direction: Assassin's Creed Odyssey, God of War, Octopath Traveler, Red Dead Redemption 2, and Return of Obra Dinn. I have not heard of that last one.
Never heard of that last one.
Me neither.
I feel like it's hard for Octopath to be in that category.
Why do you say that?
I just feel like everything else is such a it's so graphically powerful, and then to have Octopath Traveler is sort of an 8. Well, I guess it's not really. Is it an 8-bit? I guess I don't know how that would work, but anyway,
Here's the way I look at that comment. Of all of those games, the only game that I looked at and was actually surprised at what the graphics looked like was Octopath Traveler.
Yeah, I completely agree with you.
Mhm.
I think because I look at all those games too, and like the one that stands out as like that is a cool like art style. It's
Yeah.
that. Yeah. So I mean, I guess
I love the art of Octopath.
yeah.
Also, I
Yeah,
just
I would
googled
say-
Return of Obra Dinn, and like, are you guys seeing these graphics right now? This looks nuts.
Wow.
Wow.
I would love to see this game now, because this art direction is crazy.
What?
is that?
I've never heard of this game.
I have not either. This looks like I remember like a very vivid memory of working on my mom's laptop in the early 90s, and it was like just this black and white screen, and the only difference in the graphics was just like where the white and the black dots were, and this is what it looks like.
Yep. That's the same game.
Yeah.
20 years later.
Yeah, this looks cool.
Nice
All right,
to
and
Wow.
the winner is
yeah.
Yeah. Return of Obra Dinn.
Right.
Octopath who?
yeah.
Aw.
We're going with John's tried and true method of if we had played that game, that would probably be the one that
Well,
we would pick.
if I'd have played it,
Yeah,
I
right.
think the Return of Obra Dinn would win.
Oh my gosh. I guess realistically, like those are all really amazing games. Like if you clump the PS4 ones, Xbox ones together, well, I guess PS4 with God of War, like they're all kind of similar, I guess, and they look really great and they're stunning. And like I watched Jet stream of God of War, and like the way like the trees and the brush like sway when you walk through them, and the snow, like that's all really amazing. But I guess I mean like that's almost par for the course, like with what you expect from a AAA game.
Mhm.
So maybe it should be something like Octopath Traveler or Return to Obra Dinn, I guess, because they're doing something different that makes the game stand out,
Yeah.
as opposed to a game that's just kind of looks great because it has to look great. So maybe that's
Yeah.
worthwhile.
100%
Maybe that should be
agree.
rewarded, I guess, for developers. They should get a reward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Best score / music. This one's got Celeste, God of War,
Nino Kuni.
Marvel Spider-Man, Nino Kuni 2. I didn't buy it when it was on sale, unfortunately. Octopath Traveler and Red Dead Redemption 2.
I bought Nino Kuni. I'm looking at it over on the stand there. I haven't even opened it yet because I can't, not yet.
Yeah, I'm still not done Spider-Man. Then after that, it's Tomb Raider. I have Pokemon coming in on hopefully tomorrow. Oh, wait, not tomorrow, Friday.
Friday.
Yeah, and then Smash. Like, I don't have time for Nino Kuni right now. I'm guessing by the time I have like the time to play it, it'll go on sale again.
By the time when you have time to play it, I'll just let you borrow it. It'll probably
There you
be
go.
like the next couple of years.
Yeah.
Just take it. There is a glaring omission on this list, though, Jet.
There's at least one.
Tetris.
Tetris needs to be on this
Tetris.
list. Oh
Yeah.
my goodness. Like I mean, no offense to, I don't know, God of War. Like God of War, I can't even like it. That was just like orchestral stuff, and not to say that it's bad, but I can't think of anything in that game that I was like, oh man, that song was crazy.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Or
you
like
wouldn't
it
want to
really
leave God
felt-
of War on in the background while you're doing stuff.
Yeah.
True.
See, I also think Octopath had some good songs in it too.
It did. Yeah, it's memorable.
Catchy song.
Nothing I could, sing off the top of my head, but like, the whole ambience of the game
Mhm.
was really well done.
Yeah, I agree with you. And I mean, I think a good part with like any game, probably the reason why like God of War is on there is like if the music encapsulates the scene that you're in, like it makes it really memorable. So like, I mean, if you're thinking of music that plays when it's cold, like you have to, your mind kind of brings something up. I think that happens in Octopath, and I think from again watching Jet play God of War, I think it happened with God of War. So it's fitting. So I'm sure the rest of the games are all the same. But I mean, having only played Octopath, I guess I'd have to lean towards that.
I mean, I don't know how the judges are going to vote on this one. I think Celeste wins this category. That soundtrack. I was listening to it because I've been listening to the Tetris one so much and thinking like, is Tetris the best soundtrack this year? I loved Celeste so much, and going back listening to Celeste, like, no, Celeste should win this. I think just like it has such a cool vibe to it, like it really meshes well with what the game's trying to do, and it also has just this really cool blend of like 8-bit synthesizers and modern acoustic instruments that I haven't really heard before. And it's just it evokes a very specific feel, and which I don't think well, I'm not gonna say they don't do, but Matt, John, what is the score and music like in Red Dead?
It's exactly what you think it's like.
Yeah.
It's Western, twangy guitar, sort
Lots of
of
whistles.
ambient. Yeah.
Talking town
And then they've got
folk.
drummers that are right on point.
It's-
I mean,
it's
there isn't
very-
really anything that sticks out, but go ahead.
It goes with the atmosphere. It changes as you walk for miles and miles and miles. It changes after a while. No, yeah, but it fits the situations. I mean, but it doesn't stand out.
Plays a really comical noise when your horse walks into a tree.
Oh, or gallops full force, mashing that button down and not even see the tree.
Yeah, right,
Yeah.
exactly.
All right. Best audio design: Black Ops 4, Forza Horizon 4, God of War, Spider-Man, Red Dead. Man, those 4 games, like God of War, Spider-Man, Red Dead, got nominated for everything.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe they should. Like, if they're, I don't know, those are the big games. Like, if I have to look back on the year, even for games I didn't really play, like, I guess they would stick out. Those 2 big ones. So yeah, they better deliver.
Matt, how do you feel the audio design is in Black Ops?
I mean, it's exactly the same as it's been every year. Literally
Guns
nothing
sound like
sticks
guns.
out. Yeah, exactly. I mean, there's this very sort of, driving sort of techno kind of thing happening all the time, and then that's it. Then you just get guns and explosions, and it's the same thing.
And just like every other year, I hear people a split second before they kill me.
Yeah.
Or sometimes you don't.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
sometimes not at all.
But I will say for Red Dead specifically, I mean, everything has a sound. Like you get on your horse, you hear your foot in the stirrup, you hear your jeans rustle when you kick your leg over the horse. When you put your holster in, you can or your gun back in your holster, you flare it, and you can hear him like flip it around on his fingers, and then you can hear the gun like slide against the leather holster. So I don't know, maybe Red Dead takes this one for me.
If I had played it, I think Red Dead Redemption 2 would win Best Audio Design. All right. Best Performance: Brian Deckert as Connor, Detroit Become Human. Christopher Judge as Kratos, God of War. Oh man, I can't pronounce all these names. Malisanthi Mahout as Cassandra as in Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Roger Clark as Arthur Morgan in Red Dead Redemption 2. And Yuri Lowenthal as Peter Parker in Spider-Man.
I've actually heard really good things about Melisanthi Mahout in Assassin's Creed. I remember people were saying, seeing some reviews or something that I read, that you could be a boy or a girl, like when you start the game. And a lot of people said pick Cassandra because she just sounds way, way better. Not saying that I'm sure the guy, I don't know what his name was, that he did bad, but I think it was just her delivery was really, really on point. But again, having not played them, I think that maybe that would be a good choice.
Oh man, for me, like, I think that the voice of Peter Parker is amazing in that game.
So good.
I think I would go with Christopher Judge as Kratos in God of War, just because like he has to speak so much more than just like angry one-liners, and he has to have like this whole range of emotions that the character hasn't had before, and like it was convincing all the way through.
Yeah. And plus, he introduced boy into the lexicon.
He made a whole meme.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. All right. Games for impact. This is, games with like social messages and trying to say something. 1111 Retold, Celeste, Florence, Life is Strange 2 Episode 1, and The Missing, J.J. McField and the Island of Memories. Once again, I'm not a fan of Life is Strange Episode 1, only in that it's part of a game.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you right now, if I had played Celeste, it probably would have won.
All right.
Yeah. I don't know. I haven't heard of some of these ones, so I don't know.
Yeah, I haven't heard of anything other than Celeste and Life is Strange.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure they're great games.
Best indie game. Jason presents best indie game.
My favorite.
Celeste, Dead Cells, Into the Breach, Return of Obra Dinn, and The Messenger.
Okay, to be fair, again, I haven't played many of these or any of them, but I really want to play Dead Cells. That one looks really, really fun.
Philip Mewson's favorite.
Ouch. Burn. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess, Jet, you'd go with Into the Breach or Celeste. They're both on.
It's between one of those two, and I know what the answer is. But they... I think the judges will pick Celeste to win this game, or win this category. Dead Cells, I've heard amazing things. Return of the Obra Dinn, had I played it, that would probably be my game, because that art direction is insane. The Messenger is an interesting one here. I don't know if you guys have seen that game at all. I think it's a Switch exclusive. It looks like modern. It looks like Ninja Gaiden. And
I think I know the one you're talking about.
Yeah, it like flips between like 8-bit and 16-bit graphics styles.
Yeah,
that's
like
right. A time traveling thing. I've heard that when it's playing straight up like Ninja Gaiden, it's amazing, but then it later on introduces sort of a Metroidvania element to it that people aren't as much a fan of, but it was good enough to make it on this list. So
yeah. We'll see.
Best mobile game: Donut County, Florence, Fortnite, PUBG Mobile, and Reigns Game of Thrones.
Can we say no one wins?
I've heard good things about PUBG Mobile.
Yeah. Fortnite's pretty good on mobile, too.
I've heard that the Donut County game did absolutely amazing. So,
when you hook up a keyboard to
Let
PUBG
me give you
Mobile,
my 10-second synopsis of PUBG Mobile.
All right.
So I played it once, the first time, and I beat everybody, and I won. And I felt so proud of myself, and then I realized that I was playing against bots, and then I played another game, and I got smashed, and then I never played again.
Aw, that's sad.
The end.
Yeah. Uninstalled. Done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Reigns, I played the non-Game of Thrones version of that game, and it's actually pretty cool. It's all it is literally you're flipping cards. So you start at the beginning, and it tells a story. So you move a card either left or right, depending on which decision you want to make based on which card is there. So, for instance, it'll say, I'm the queen and I need you to do one of these two things. And then you say, okay, well, this is the one I want to do. So you swipe it that way. And then that has ramifications going forward. So then it said, okay, you did this. And then maybe that what you did ended up killing you, or like you lit a village on fire or something by accident. So everything has sort of ramifications based on which way you swipe. And the whole game is literally just swiping left or right on different cards. So I'm assuming the Game of Thrones one is, just as good. And then there's different ways you can go, and you get to certain hidden spots or cards. Like you have to collect certain people cards, and the only way you can meet certain people is by making certain choices and the way things branch and stuff. So it's interesting.
All right. Couple more categories. Best VR/AR game: Astrobot Rescue Mission, Beat Saber, Firewall Zero Hour, Moss, and Tetris Effect.
I'm just gonna go with Tetris Effect because I loved watching you play it.
Yeah, that honestly was very mesmerizing.
I guess that would be my.
I will say though, Beat Saber's
that looks cool. Yeah,
people love Beat Saber, and that definitely has the wow factor. I've also heard amazing things about Astrobot Rescue Mission, which is it's a platformer, and I've heard people say it's like the Mario 64 of virtual reality platformers.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. There's a demo of it. You can play it on the PlayStation.
I don't have VR. Maybe we'll get one soon. But I think when they announced Moss, that looked pretty cool. Like that's the one where I think you're the mouse and like you're going through the perspective of the world, like down like being small. Like that just seems like a really cool idea. But haven't had a chance to play it yet.
Yeah.
But I would still say Tetris Effect. Just from even that little live stream we just watched was absolutely amazing.
Best action.
I mean, there's so many VR games, and the way just little things about them. Maybe the games aren't so good, but just little things that you can do in the games. If they could, get that and harness it and make one really good game that sort of incorporates all the cool things, that's what I'm waiting for.
All right. Best action game.
Yeah.
Black Ops.
I'm waiting for the VR games to actually be like glory.
Right.
Yeah.
Best action game: Blops, Dead Cells, Destiny 2, Far Cry 5, Mega Man 11. I
enjoyed Far Cry 5.
Okay.
But I love that whole open world. Like, it was great. I really enjoyed it.
It glitched on me really bad, and I traded it in the next day.
Really?
I remember that.
Man, I ran into a glitch where like I died in a helicopter crash, and the game would just load with me with the helicopter just crashing over and over again.
So what you're saying is it's a far cry from good.
Wow.
All right, see you guys.
Yep.
Other than that, like the only one I've played here otherwise is Mega Man 11, and I think Mega Man 11 is great. I don't know if it has what it takes to stand up to some of the other games in this category.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. It seems like it's a little underwhelming.
Yeah.
Well, I also think that if you look at these 5 games, they're very different, all 5 of them.
Yeah.
And it's,
very true.
you've got your side-scrolling sort of, platforming thing. You've got your open world in Far Cry. You've got your sort of Destiny and Call of Duty are kind of the same thing. And then Dead Cells is like a roguelike kind of thing, right? Or whatever it is, kind of Metroidvania. I don't know. They're very different, and it's weird to put them all in the same category, if you ask me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I don't know if I was called Black Ops an action. Like, I mean, I guess maybe like the zombies mode is like an action thing, but I don't know. Yeah. Same with like Destiny. I don't know if it's really action.
Yeah.
Well, it's weird to see like Call of Duty and Mega Man in the same category.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's not just best video.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Right.
Best action adventure game: Assassin's Creed Odyssey, God of War, Spider-Man, Red Dead, Shadow of the Tomb Raider.
Jesus.
Feel like
that's a heck of a category.
Shadow of the Tomb Raider, no one's really talked about, and I can't speak to that because I've only an hour into that game. So, but yeah, God of War, Spider-Man, Red Dead, the Trinity. Oh, and Assassin's Creed Odyssey. That's 4 Game of the Year contenders right there.
Yeah.
Do you think the game that wins Game of the Year wins this category as well?
I mean, it probably should, but I don't know. I mean, considering that you said 4 of the games are action adventure games, like, and the other one is what, Celeste? I don't know. I feel like they're gonna win both.
I wonder if they.
Yeah, Shadow of the Tomb Raider, I feel like is not gonna make it through this category.
No. Probably not.
I don't know. I feel like if you look at Red Dead, it's less action and more adventure. If you look at something like Spider-Man or God of War, I feel like that really sort of embodies the action adventure genre. Like it's got literally both of those things in spades, right? Like,
yeah, true.
And I haven't played Assassin's Creed. I'm assuming it's very similar, but I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I would lean towards Spider-Man. It seems like it's kind of made to be the best category here, action adventure game. I mean, it's Spider-Man.
Okay,
that's what he does.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
How about best RPG? Dragon Quest XI, Monster Hunter, Ni no Kuni 2, Octopath Traveler, and Pillars of Eternity 2, Deadfire.
My category. Jeez. Man, I don't even know. Like, I think Octopath is great. And then Monster Hunter World is really cool, but I don't think it's going to win anything. I think it's an amazing game, but I don't think it's a game of the year or anything like that. Haven't yet played Ni no Kuni 2, so I got that one with you guys too. But Dragon Quest XI is just so cool looking. Like, oh, jeez.
I feel like if Monster Hunter was going to win anything, it would be in this category.
Think so?
That game sold incredibly well. I think it outsold everything else on this list, and it won a lot of people over that had never played or never liked Monster Hunter before.
Yeah, I mean, you're absolutely right. I think so too. And definitely probably the biggest selling one, if not Octopath. I think Pillars of Eternity is too like hardcore to win this category.
It's also the only point and click game on the entire thing.
Well, I'm glad that a point and click game made it on the list. I mean, we'd have to go back and run the numbers, but I think it's cool that in 2018 a point and click game can make it.
That's true. Selfishly, I think I want Dragon Quest XI to win just so that we get more Dragon Quest games in North America.
Yeah.
But
for those traditional RPGs, a chance.
Yeah.
Best fighting game: BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle, Dragon Ball FighterZ, Soul Calibur 6, and Street Fighter V Arcade Edition.
All right,
I'm going to defer to you, Jet.
Yeah.
I think Dragon Ball FighterZ is going to win this in a landslide, maybe the biggest landslide of all these categories. I think BlazBlue is the better game. It does not look.
I would say. Oh, no, go on.
It does not look as good. It is more fun to play.
I would say from just looking at that list, like, yeah, for sure, it's going to be FighterZ. There's no way. Like, I mean, that game could have been Game of the Year. Like, I could have seen that one top up there. It's been everywhere.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think for sure Game of the Year. Also, props to Arc System Works for having 2 games there.
Yeah. Arc System Works is a fantastic fighting game developer. I haven't really played any of their games up until this point because their stuff is really complicated. Like, the genre of fighting games is already so hard, and they're like the next level up of just systems on top of systems. Like, you can't just pick Ken and then pick Ryu and like, okay, I have a basic idea of what they do. Like, no. Like, playing one character in Guilty Gear and playing a different character in Guilty Gear, it's like playing 2 different fighting games in the same game.
Yeah. Arc System Works is definitely the coffee barista hipster of the fighting game community.
For sure. And I feel
you like Street Fighter?
But yeah, with Dragon Ball FighterZ and BlazBlue, they brought it down to a place where like it's a lot more accessible, but still has the depth. And BlazBlue in particular, I feel, has a really great balance. I think Dragon Ball FighterZ is a little too much of a puncher's game. I feel like everybody just like fights at point blank and is just smashing each other all the time versus BlazBlue, which does give fighters who can fight from far away a bit more of a chance.
Fair enough.
Now you know.
Review done. Yeah.
And Street Fighter V, like, okay. To Street Fighter's credit.
Where do I start?
To Street Fighter's credit, Street Fighter V Arcade Edition is probably the game that should have come out 2 years ago. It's finally got the arcade mode. It has the story mode. It's got more characters in it. They've cleaned up the graphics. They've cleaned up some of the online. They recently reduced the input lag to make it an even more responsive game. I just have issues with the way that game was designed at a root level, and it breaks my heart.
Oh,
Yeah, but
It's a dang shame.
yeah, I can't go back. I can't go back. Best family game: Mario Tennis Aces, Nintendo Labo, Overcooked 2, Starlink, and Super Mario Party.
yeah.
Overcooked.
Overcooked.
Yeah,
Really?
you guys.
Because I feel like if I played with my family, I would hate that.
Yeah, you guys had a
Uh,
blast on the marathon
It was
playing
great.
that. Yeah, this is a
It's a
pretty
good time.
cool list. Nintendo Labo, like, no, get that out of here. It's fine.
Mhm.
Tennis Aces is okay. I want to play Starlink. Mario Party, that is what it is. I think Overcooked is
Yeah.
maybe even more of a landslide than the fighting game category in this.
Yeah, I think it'll be.
Yeah.
I think classifying as a family game just seems weird, but I think on that list, it's probably the best game to play multiplayer. So
Yeah.
yeah, I guess.
Strategy game: BattleTech, Frostpunk, Into the Breach, The Banner Saga 3, Valkyria Chronicles 4.
I don't know. I haven't played a strategy game in forever.
Yeah.
I
I
want
haven't
It's like
played
I go
any
to-
of these.
Gotta go Into the Breach because of Jet's recommendation.
I would
Yeah,
probably
it
do
looks
that as
pretty
well.
cool.
I know JJ likes the Banner Saga a lot, and I did want to play Valkyria Chronicles, and I probably will at some point because I really enjoy that series. Well, I like the first one a lot. The second and third one never came to North America.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it did. The
did?
second one came on
PSP?
PSP.
Okay, yeah. Then
Mhm.
I wouldn't have played it. Sports and racing games: FIFA 19, Forza Horizon, Mario Tennis Aces, NBA 2K19, Pro Evolution Soccer. I've only played
Next,
Am I the only person that heard him say sports and raisin games?
Sports and Raisins.
sports and racing games.
Huh.
Pro Evolution Soccer actually looks phenomenal.
Had I played
Yeah,
it?
we watched that at EGLX. We watched
Yeah.
a bunch of pro matches.
Oh, weird.
They're,
Okay.
it's fun.
Had I played,
I mean, honestly, I couldn't tell you the
would
difference
not.
between Pro Evolution or FIFA, but you know,
Yeah, really.
Hmm.
I wanted to like Tennis Aces more than I did.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
Fun, but not what I wanted.
Yeah. Best multiplayer game: Blops, Destiny 2, Fortnite, Monster Hunter, Sea of Thieves.
Sea of Thieves is on
Oh
there.
man.
Maybe they just felt bad for the Xbox. Like, yeah, we got to throw something on. So,
What do you guys want? What do you guys want? Just
yeah,
name
what do
one.
you want?
Name one.
Oh my god.
Though I've heard there are
Um,
people who really love Sea of Thieves.
Really?
Yeah. If you listen to the Player One podcast at all, Chris Johnston talks about his exploits of playing that game every single week since launch.
Mhm.
wow.
Is it
I mean,
entertaining?
concept is cool. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't seem like it's good for me.
I don't know.
Interesting. I'll never play it because I never have an Xbox.
Mm.
Same.
You
It's
can get
PC,
on
right?
too.
You can do it on PC too. Yeah. Maybe I will then. I don't know.
I don't have a PC. So.
Okay.
I'm not on this right now.
Best student game. We have. Yeah.
Probably skip
No,
this
that
category.
that.
Yeah.
Okay. This is. I think we're
Here we go,
doing
Jason.
the end here. Let's
Uh-huh.
do last two categories: best indie game, best debut indie game.
Debut indie game.
Yoku's Island Express.
Yoku's Island
Yeah,
Express.
Yoku's
I
Island
liked
Express.
Yoku's. That was fun.
Yeah. So I'm gonna say that.
That game was legit.
I haven't played any of these other ones.
I think that was innovative and fun.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Yeah.
And yeah, that
Also, side note about Jason, I love any game that involves pinball of any sort. So like, I
Like
think that
Sonic
game,
Pinball.
yeah, that game is great. And like, oh my gosh, it's
I know,
so
it's
funny.
so good.
There's another one. I think it's like Rock of Ages or something. It's kind of like pinball. Oh, I love it. It's such a funny like. And if you can mix pinball with like anything, it just works. Like Metroid pinball, amazing.
Did you like
I
what
think
was
you
that
missed the
game?
business plan.
What was that
Yeah,
GameCube
right,
one
exactly.
with the microphone?
Oh, Odama.
Yeah.
Yeah, amazing.
Of course.
It was great. I know exactly what you're talking about. It's cool because every generation there's like two, so you can like really quickly buy them. Be like, I got them all, and then you can go to the next one.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Last category, and then we're gonna go back through the list and write them down, and this is how we will settle the championship belt on the next episode.
God.
Best esports
Okay.
game: Counter-Strike, Dota 2, Fortnite, League of Legends, Overwatch.
Ooh, League of Legends.
Man, those are big
I don't know.
ones.
Dota. I don't know. That's tough.
I mean, just
I
having watched Overwatch, like that was huge. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say Overwatch.
yeah, Fortnite is a massive game. I still feel like that is a weird game in an esports format.
I agree.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
how do you franchise that?
Yeah.
What's best esports player? I gotta know who they put up there.
Okay, we'll put it up there, but then
Oh,
we're,
the Fox guy's there.
I bet it's Jay Jonak, yeah, or Sonic Fox.
Yeah,
Okay,
Oh,
yeah,
Jay
Jay Jonak
Jonak.
is
Yeah,
is
Jay
on there.
Jonak.
Oh my god!
Sonic Fox. Yeah.
Wow,
yeah, I'm picking Sonic
Oh,
Fox
man.
on that one.
Sonic Fox is probably gonna win. I mean, Jay Jonak was amazing in Overwatch League, but wow.
Wow.
All right, let's go back to the top
Great.
of the list. I'm going to write down everyone's picks, like what they think is going to win. Oh man, this is such a long list. Okay. Let me.
Jet, we could just send you our lists.
All right, send
we
me your
can.
list. Go through it, and we will then like compare it. Are we actually going
Okay.
to do our reaction to the game of the year on the next episode of Boss Rush?
Sure, we can talk
when,
about it.
When is the show?
It's a Thursday night.
Next Thursday? That's Thanksgiving over here.
No,
Is
it's
it
not.
then?
It's like when is this game awards? The Game Awards. Is that the there he is. December no. Now you're seeing my browser. Hopefully you didn't see
Ooh.
anything weird in the browser history. Please God. December 6th.
Worlds will change. Wow.
So when is
They won't. But
December the 6th
That's,
is
Friday,
yeah.
right?
No, it's
Saturday,
Thursday.
Thursday?
It's like 3 weeks from now.
Cool. Got plenty of
All
time.
right.
Okay.
I'll send you our picks then.
Okay. Send the pics and then I'll put them on like the blog or something. Just so we have a formal record. This is what everybody picked.
Yeah. Gonna hold us accountable.
All right. Whew, that was exhausting. We are like an hour and 40